Definitely disappointing performance by us defensively. I take full responsibility for that because, as the coordinator, we need to make sure I do a better job of getting my points across and our teaching details across. We did a very poor job in fitting the run, especially in the first half. I was very disappointed by that. And then more importantly, just the missed tackles. We had a lot of opportunity to get individuals on the ground, and we didn't do it. And so, I thought we fought in the second half. Got 2 turnovers, and really felt like we were starting to get our energy back. And then we gave up the big play that led to the touchdown. And so, for me in my 6 years as the coordinator here, that's part of the worst performance I felt like we had in general. And so for me, got to get back to the drawing board. I told the young men we're not going to quit. We're going to stay in this thing together. I think the biggest key everywhere I've been before is will you guys stay together. If you guys can stay together in October, you got a chance. And our young men, several young men came to me, talked to me, cried to me, and just said, Coach, we believe in you. And so once you know you got that, you can keep fighting. And so that's what we're going to do. As you look at Gardner-Webb, we all know a very good team. They play hard regardless of their record. Coach McCray does a great job in getting his guys ready to play. And so we got to worry about us. This week is about being resilient. We got to worry about us, make sure we get back to basics. I think the last 2 games, to be honest, we've taken a step back defensively. So I got to do a great job of getting our guys to understand the way we play here. And we're going to get that done this week. So I'm excited.
Not to belabor Monmouth, Coach, but what were some of those deficiencies in the first half that you got corrected in the second half?
Well, just run gaps, scheme. What happened was I changed up my thought process. So I apologize to the guys because I changed up my thought process about trying some things new. In the first half, I thought it would help us, and what it really did is it made our guys play a little slower. You watch the film, they were thinking. And so I'm not a guy that's going to throw anybody on the bus. I don't make excuses. I went in the mindset that I want to change some things up. I got a great coaching staff that believe in me. But at the end of the day, it hurt our guys. We were playing slower than we ever played because we were thinking. It was on the sideline asking a lot of questions that we normally don't have to ask when we see what we see. And so, you live and learn, And like I told the young men on Sunday, I apologized to them right after the game because I know I played a major role in the setback that we had this past week. And so, I think once you be honest with people and you be honest with your team, I think they work harder for you and they believe in you. And that's what happened Sunday when a lot of them came to me and said, Coach, I love you. Because it's easy to throw young men under the bus in this profession. And I've always made up my mind I'm not going to do that, because they play hard, they work hard, they'll do what I ask. But I got to do a better job of putting them in the right situation.
Gardner-Webb is 1-6, but they've got a great quarterback. He is a handful. What are the major problems he presents you?
He's a dual threat. He can hurt you with his legs immensely. And then he throws the ball well enough that if you overplay the run, with him scrambling, we watched every game thus far this season. He's been able to get the ball behind the DBs simply because you're so worried about him taking off and running, and then your DBs come off their man, and before you know the ball's behind you. So we just got to do a great job, once again, of containing him. I thought last year we did a much better job than we did in 2015, and we just got to resemble that last year of just understanding our leverage. We're going to do a couple of circuit drills today just to remind our young men of what we need to do to be successful against them.
Running Bulldogs giving up an average of 2 sacks per game. Maxwell has thrown 7 picks. What have other teams done to disrupt him a little bit offensively?
Contain him. Like you say, like I just stated, keep him on his inside shoulder. If you can keep him on your inside shoulder and, just mirror it, not leave your feet too early, make sure you gang tackle him, that's when he's gotten frustrated. But when we watch film of where he hurt defenses, young men did more than what they should have. Try to go through a gap they wasn't supposed to go through, so they lost contain, and he'll take off on you. He's a smart football player. And so I think based on what we did last year, we just got to make sure that we do our job, go back to basics. Me as a coordinator, put my guys in a better position so where they can play fast.
How critical is this game? You're riding a 4-game losing skid. You don't want to make it 5. Just how critical is this game in the scheme of the whole season?
Oh, man, this is the biggest game of the year. Ain't no doubt. It's the biggest game of the year. I look at this as a playoff game. You know, win or go home type deal. You know, because like you said, when you lose 4 in a row and you know you guys are giving you everything they have, I think it just boils down to you drumming up that excitement to say, you know what, this is a must-win game, and it really is. And so, you know, for me, you embrace it. You know, I love challenges. I love the opportunity to show and rebound. I'm not a quitter. I tell the young men, you can't live this life and be a quitter. You won't get anywhere. You're going to have setbacks. How do you respond? And I've learned in my life, if I would have just given in to every setback, I wouldn't be sitting right here. And so you live and learn. You never know how the outcome is, but you can control your mind, how you think about it. And for me, I'm ready to go get it.
Couple of points here offensively for them, Coach. Just want to get your general thoughts. The average 111 yards passing, 15 different guys have caught a pass. Their leading receiver is their former backup quarterback. How do you analyze all that and decide how do you approach them from a passing standpoint when they do put it in the air?
Well, like I said, right now, just knowing that we had the setback that we had, Alan, I'm back to just trying to get the basics. So to me, this week is really been about how can I get us to play fast again? How can I get our guys' confidence again? So therefore, no matter who will be playing, I'm more focused on how can I allow my secondary to get back to having that confidence, having that swag. And so you can't worry so much about how you're going to be able to do things to stop them. I got to be more concerned about, hey, this is what we do. This is how we do it, and we're going to play it really fast. And that's what I want to see on Saturday. And so in order to do that, you got to separate a little bit of, okay, how we're going to handle all those dynamics, or focus on here, how can I get my guys better, get their energy back, get their excitement back. And so that's what I'm excited about. Is I think our young men really know I'm more about getting our energy back and getting our swag back to where we play like we know we're supposed to play and represent Liberty University.
How much did losing Greg Story hurt your game plan heading into last week, and are you looking forward to having him back this week to kind of get things going with the same front four?
I'll tell you this, when I saw him, I gave him a big hug. And, you know, the situation, like Coach Gill always say, family is first. We're going to respect family situations, and that's what I admire by our head coach. And of course, as we all know, that was a tough loss to lose a young man of that stature and the way he was playing and how he was coming on. And so, yeah, you know, that was a little setback, but it was no excuse. I mean, we Elijah Mitchell and Hurtado, which did nice jobs, they were able to fill in. We just didn't execute. And like I said, a lot of that is on me. I had my guys thinking with the thought process, but I'm super excited to have them be amongst our family again.
How are your players mentally right now? What are they feeling? How excited are they to play another football game on Saturday?
Well, of course, major disappointment. It was a lot of crying on Saturday, and, you know, you want that. You don't want guys to just, whatever, and start talking, because I think that's how you can develop cancer. A lot of our guys were hurt, and we want them to be hurt. We're hurt. You know, I shed tears. You know, I'm thankful my wife was on the trip with me, because I was able to lean on her shoulder. I'm just being honest. Because when you pour into it, you represent a great university. You want to see this university. You want to see this program. You want to see this administration. You want to see the student alumni. Everybody just to have pride in your program. You know that we want it to be the best. So when we came back on Sunday, I just apologized to them. Say, guys, the game plan that we laid out, probably was too much. I take that as the coordinator. I'm not going to throw any shade on anybody. And so from there, I think that released them a little bit to know, okay, we corrected the mistakes now. There's no excuse for missing tackles. There's no excuse for missing coverages, whatever it may be. But now they know it's a two-way street. And so from that, I said we had a lot of young men come meet with us, said, Coach, I'm all in. Coach, I'm excited. And you had a couple of young men come to me and apologize one-on-one. And so my thing is, when you get that, you feel like, hey, they're still in it. And then when you're playing this late in October, a lot of teams in our boat, they're not in it. And so I'm thankful to have a group of young men that's saying, Coach, we're ready to go get Gardner-Webb.
Despite the outcome of what happened, the experiment moving, and that might not be the right word, but flip-flopping Corbin and Ryan, analyze that move and how you thought that worked out.
Well, a lot of it played into it. We see that Corbin had a little ankle injury. You try to protect different things. In the free safety, you're going to do a lot more movement, and he still had to miss out the second half. So a lot of that play a part. You're just trying to allow guys to be the most successful. That's what I said last week when it was mentioned to me. You don't want to give too much away with information for the opponents. But Ryan, he was disappointed. I was disappointed for him because I think he's played really 6 great games up until last week. And so, we're going to address that and do what we need to do to allow him to play to the best of his abilities. But I'm very proud of him because, like I said, he stepped in to a really difficult situation just because of all the dynamics that took place, making us make the decision to move him back there. But you know what? He's just a sophomore, and he's going to learn from it. He's already texted me saying he want to meet, and let's get to it. So to me, that's half the battle because we're going to have setbacks.